A bunch of rich men are celebrating on a boat in front of a pyramid of money while mocking the poor. They are interrupted by Harley Quinn, who decides to take the money, but they all laugh at her. She brutally shows them who's boss, and they pull out their guns, but the joke's on them. She's not alone. Joker is being diabolical as usual, holding a face in his hand. Harley is angry that Joker interfered with her heist and that he took over the job. The men fire back at them, and Joker refuses to let her shine. She wants to be her own name, but Joker keeps belittling her and making fun of her. After their slaughter, Batman finally arrives to put an end to this madness. Joker then ditches Harley and uses her to escape, while Batman arrests her. Later on, Batman takes her to Jim Gordon, who's had enough of her and Joker. Batman doesn't understand why Harley is covering for Joker, who keeps treating her like trash. But Harley believes that they have real love and holds on. They both laugh hysterically because Harley believes that Joker will break her out of Arkham. 6 months later, she's still in Arkham. Killer Croc makes fun of her for always waiting for Joker, but she lashes out. Poison Ivy tries to calm her down, but Harley is still delusional. Suddenly a plan appears, and it raises mayhem as no plants are allowed near Poison Ivy. 3 months later, they're still talking about Joker, but they're breaking out of Arkham. Harley is casually destroying the guards and biting ears off. 3 months later, they're still in Arkham talking about Joker. Riddler comes in with an unnecessary riddle, but everyone drives the point to Harley that Joker is not coming. At night, there's a breakout, and it turns out to be Ivy. Harley wants to wait for Joker, but it's been a year since she's been in Arkham. Ivy takes her out, and she later wakes up at Ivy's place. She's tending to her plants, and they have a plant roommate. Harley still thinks Joker is coming, but Ivy has finally had enough. She catches her and drives the point that Joker does not love her. Ivy tells her that she helped her before and asks her what Dr. Harleen would tell her now. She talks to her own picture and gives herself advice. Meanwhile, Joker gets mad at the TV for saying that Riddler's funnier than him. He shoots Stan.
Hey, you, buddy, what's your name?
Stan.
Stan. Oh, see? I just kicked Stan!
Harley is standing behind him and finds that he never cared about her. She's here to break up with him, but Joker plays one final game. He tells her that everyone's gone mad, and that's why he broke up with her. Keeping her away was the only way to protect her. She starts to fall for it, but Ivy talks sense into her. She then goes back to Joker when he tells her to come back, and it gets real gross real quick. Later on, Jim is calling for Batman, and he tells him that Riddler escaped. Meanwhile, Joker is mad that Riddler is considered to be funnier than him. He shoots a cake that she baked him, and then he continues talking about the Riddler. She just wants a date with him, so she goes to kill Riddler for him. As she pulls up, so does Batman. Riddler then catches both of them and drops an acid riddle before revealing a pool of acid. He then calls Joker to come over, and he has to choose one of them to live. Joker can't decide and doesn't want to give Riddler credit for killing Batman, so he sacrifices Harley. As she falls through, she imagines her time with Joker and sees her old self again. She is then snapped back to reality, realizing that Joker always cared more about Batman and that Joker never loved her. Poison Ivy saves her, and it turns out that it wasn't acid. Riddler then reveals that it was a ploy by Ivy to show Harley that Joker didn't care about her. She tries to comfort her, and later on, the plant makes fun of Harley, who's feeling sorry for herself. Ivy tries talking to Harley again, and suddenly, Joker sends mail, but the mail explodes in front of them. Harley then decides that she's going to become more than Joker's girlfriend. Finally, she pulls up to Joker's place. Joker tries to sweet-talk her, and she decides to get straight with him. Joker refuses to be broken up with, and tells her that he created her. He calls his men, and they surround her, but she decides to let her frustrations out on them. The place turns into a battle zone, and Joker orders them to kill her, but she kicks their asses one by one. The fight continues, and she uses Joker's gadgets to take out the rest before blowing the place wide open and getting out alive. Poison Ivy arrives at the scene to find the job done. They decide to order food, and Harley tells Joker that she's going to be running this town. The next episode, Scarecrow is talking to Bane about Joker and Harley's breakup. As they continue to gossip, Joker pulls up. He twitches that people are saying Harley dumped him, and he tries to convince them otherwise. Meanwhile, Harley and Ivy are relaxing back home and watching TV. Joker pulls up on TV and reveals that he's strapped the host to a bomb. He's doing this to convince the people that he dumped Harley. He's also baiting Harley, who breaks the TV. Ivy tries to tell her to forget him, but she's unhinged. She finds that the Legion of Doom is having a meeting tomorrow, and she decides that she's going to be there. Harley pleads with Ivy to go with her, and they annoy her until she agrees. Later on, Harley pulls up in style alongside Ivy. However, they pulled up to the wrong place. This was a children's party for Penguin's nephew. Harley refuses to leave as the rest of the Legion is here. Ivy thinks they should leave, but Harley leaves her. Kite Man suddenly approaches Ivy and tries to hit on her. Meanwhile, Joker is rebuilding his lair, and he gets a call from Bane telling him that Harley is there. Joker doesn't want to see her thrive, so he decides to come over. Harley is annoying the guests, and then she tells them she has a plan to get rid of Batman, but Joker interrupts. They continue beefing, and Joker tells her to get lost. She finally leaves them and goes to sit with a bunch of kids, but even they reject her. Meanwhile, Kite Man is still hitting on Ivy, and she tries to tell him to get lost, but he doesn't give up. Harley interrupts and tells him to scram, and he's left disappointed. Harley is letting her frustrations out when Mrs. Cobblepot tells her to stop swearing. Finally, she decides that she's going to rob the Gotham Mint. Ivy tells her that this is an impossible mission. No one has ever even tried this. There are so many variables why this can't work, but Harley insists on doing it to earn their respect. Suddenly, all the kids hit on Ivy, and Kite Man reveals that he stole her love potion and used it on the kids. Harley goes away to the Gotham Mint and takes out the guards. She sneaks inside and covers the camera before destroying the security guards below. As that is happening, Ivy is trying to save the kids from her poison, so she agrees to get help from Kite Man. The rest of the villains are still trying to enjoy the party, while Harley tends to business. Suddenly, she realizes that the entire safe she's in was staged by Penguin for the party. Everyone laughs at her and she tries to run, but Penguin darts her and she passes out. Meanwhile, Kite Man is taking Ivy on a ride back to her place. They get inside and she looks for the antidote, but Kite Man thinks that they're here for another reason. He thinks they had a great date, but Ivy has finally had enough. She explains that they were only here for the antidote. Harley then wakes up in chains back at the party. The little boy aims Penguin's umbrella at her, but she plays mind games with him so he misses. He gets defensive and starts trembling, and Ivy and Kite Man go back to the party. He tries to continue hitting on her, and finally, she's enjoying her time with him. She notices that something is wrong back at the party, and Harley stalls. Then the child breaks down. Suddenly, Kite Man crashes with Ivy and Harley jumps off. Joker pisses her off even more, and says she's just a sidekick. Everyone gears up and things get heated. Bane slaps Kite Man, and the fighting starts. Ivy gives Harley a gun, and she takes out Scarecrow. They then get surrounded, and Kite Man is nowhere to help. Harley then talks to the rest of the villains and asks why they let Joker talk to them like that. He doesn't even have powers. They start turning on him, and then Joker decides to shoot Harley. But Ivy steps in. She uses her powers on him until he gets a phone call. Things settle down and Joker has to leave. Harley and Ivy finally leave. Back home, Harley still wants to get into the Legion of Doom. Ivy still doesn't understand her, but Harley wants to be a respected supervillain. Ivy then remembers her boys, and she tells them that she has to kiss them to be cured. She kisses them one by one, and they turn back. This was the beginning of the Harley Quinn animated series. It received very high ratings and might be interesting depending on how they go about it. We will deliver more of this, so stay tuned. Well, this brings us to the end of today's video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel to get more videos like this one. Your support helps us grow. And tell me what you think about this story. What do you think of a Harley Quinn solo series? Would you like to watch the rest of it? Let me know in the comments below. I read all of them. And if you're watching till now, thank you. I'll see you in another video soon.